EGM Network.
Welcome to the Lori Davis Show, where it's all about the amazing lifestyle on our Treasure Coast. And here's your host and realtor for life, Lori Davis.
Hello, and welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you're here with us today. We have a really exciting show here with us. I think it's topical. We live in Florida, and June is upon us, July, August, September. This is a show about the hurricane season. It starts June 1st. It goes through November 30th. And, there's all sorts of things we need to do to be prepared, and everybody makes lists and does all these things. But what we've got is one of our local insurance agents here with us today to kind of give us some insight onto, how to get prepared with your policy and the things you need to know about that. Because we all know about getting water, and we need to know about batteries, and all the things have been hammered in our heads from the media. But what you need to really also notice and take note of our coverages and things. So we need to be prepared, whether you're on the mainland or on the island, have a plan. Now, we had Ryan Lloyd in here from the Indian River County Emergency Management Office, and he was like, just have a plan, put it in the drawer. Where am I going to go? What am I going to take? They tell you to box up your important papers that you can just throw in the trunk of the car or the back seat. I have some of those boxes, and some of them are like dear photographs, family albums and stuff. It's not just important papers, but you need that too, right? And so having a plan is key. Where are you going to go? He said to have a couple names of some different hotels that you have in your phone, that you know where you're going to go to, or you're going to go to your friends, you're going to go to your, family members, but where are you going to go? Because it's obviously very important that we have that plan in place. One of the things we're going to talk about today is all the great things. Citrus Grill House is our sponsor for beverage at the Lori Davis Show. Lori Davis, your realtor for life. And they do such a great job over there. Today's beverage, we're going to start with today's beverage because they have a new martini menu out. So they provided us with a lavender martini. And if you see it on YouTube, you can see how pretty. It's really pretty.
It does, yeah.
And I thought it was Empress Gin, but it's Weber or something vodka. And, okay, so if I read off what's in it.
Read the recipe, yeah.
It's the Weber Ranch vodka, lavender juice. So they have lavender juice.
Okay.
They put a dash of simple syrup, Cindy, but I told them to go light on that.
Yeah.
And lemon juice, fresh lemon juice. Squeezed in there. It's really delicious. You can see kind of some of the lemon pulp on top.
Mm-hmm. And they put a peel of lemon in it as well?
They do. They do. We didn't have it in our box.
Yeah.
The one had just a couple lemons in there. It didn't look very good. So we took those out. So they have this cocktail menu that is primarily for summer, but if we go into fall, I'm sure if you mention one of these, you'll definitely get it. I think we tried the passion fruit sangria, didn't we?
Yeah, that was
Cindy?
good. It was good.
Yeah, their grapefruit martini is one of their faves that they do over there. Yeah. They have fabulous Natalie's grapefruit juice. It's fantastic. A nice sugar rim. We have the lavender martini. There's a hibiscus martini. So I guess there's hibiscus juice out there,
Syrup,
Cindy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's lavender juice, so it might as well be hibiscus, right?
Well, yeah, I do all the flowers.
It's cucumber watermelon.
I love that one.
You like that one. Prairie organic cucumber vodka, watermelon juice, and simple syrup. Mm-hmm. Again, you can ask them to go light on that. Some of the things are really tart and a little funky. And then one of the gals was saying that there's a hibiscus Mai Tai. So it's Florida Canna white rum, hibiscus juice, orange juice, pineapple juice, lime juice, and agave nectar. So that one sounds like, she said it sounded like a drink from the Bahamas, or tasted like it anyway.
Yeah, I don't know if they have a Myers float on that too. Yeah.
They'll give you a Myers, you can get them whatever you want when you go
well,
there.
that is true.
You got to ask them. They're easy. They're so wonderful over there. But what they're doing now is, for the summertime, because I think we'll probably use this mostly during the summer, they're doing Martini Mondays. So stop by Mondays for summer 2026, $13 martinis. And that doesn't include happy hour pricing. So it sounds like it's going to be all night. Monday is Martini Mondays, which is fabulous. Mm-hmm. Then we have Kids Eat Free on Tuesdays. How about that?
Wow.
So if the parent eats and the child's eating with the parent, I think it's 12 and under, but they have a great menu. Now, I don't know how we did it because Chef swore he'd never do chicken nuggets. But I think there's nuggets on the menu.
Oh,
and I'm so proud of you, Chef.
Chef for life.
Chef for
and
life
chicken
with
nuggets.
the nuggets. And they're going to be the best nuggets in town if he's got nuggets on there.
I'm going to give him this.
Thank you.
Is it free-range chicken nuggets?
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
Wagyu nuggets, something.
Wagyu nuggets. There you go.
Yeah, I don't know. But you know they're going to be great.
Yeah, they are.
And that's what it always is. The kid menu is always the best. The burger's the best.
Yeah, they are.
They have, I always want that size food portion anyway.
I do too. Yeah.
And there's a couple great pastas in there too.
I love it.
So they have a great menu for the kids.
Yeah.
Then there's Wine Down Wednesdays.
Oh.
So they have $5 off wine by the glass, $20 off bottles of wine. So it wouldn't be for the house wines, but if you buy, a wine that's whatever it costs for your wine, I could use $5 off my wine.
Yeah,
wine costs is not inexpensive.
No, this is the way you have to look at it. Then you're getting $5 off of like a $20
glass of wine. That's what I'm talking about.
Now it's in the price range.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's a good deal. Thank you, Scott.
Thank you, Chef Scott. Thank you. The whole team over there. They've all been working on it.
They have been.
They're amazing. And then, I found my kids' menu. Breaded chicken nuggets, pasta with your choice of red sauce or buttered, and the cheese ravioli with red sauce or buttered, or a Wagyu burger with American cheese. I want the burger. Can I order the burger from the kids' menu? I'd have to bring Jim. He'd have to order the adult menu, and then maybe I could slide in a kid burger there. And one other thing they're doing for Indian River County School District staff, anybody that works for the school district, they're going to give you 15% off your check at Citrus Grill House for the summer of 2026.
Wow, that's really, kudos to them. Kudos, because that's a big deal, yeah.
Man, it's a tough job. Our guest today, his wife works in the school system. Yeah. She works over at Beachland Elementary. Is it Beachland?
Beachland Elementary.
Yeah, cool. And so just bring your badge and show them there at Citrus, and you will get 15% off.
Yeah, that's good.
So, and then, as if that wasn't enough, they're doing their prefix menu, 2 courses for $25. And the first course, you get a gazpacho or a haystack salad or a watermelon cucumber salad. Ooh. Second course is his bolognese, which is insane. I love it. It's so good. Mm-hmm. It's also on the lunch menu. Norwegian salmon with a creamy cucumber salad or an oven roasted chicken breast with Italian white bean salad. Served Monday to Thursday, 5 to 6 p.m. You have to have your order in by 6 p.m. So, and I think it started yesterday. So, that's there. And also, if you order a bottle of wine, they have some house wines. They'll sell that to you. I think it's $20 for a bottle of wine, something like that. $30 for house wine for a whole bottle, which is great. That's 4 glasses. So that's a great deal. Thank you, Chef Scott, for all you do. 1050 Easter Lily Lane. Chef, the Citrus Grill House is located right there at Humiston Park, right on the ocean. Go there for lunch. Go there for dinner. It's fabulous. You can still sit outside even through the summer. And if you want the AC, it's always available inside. Love the staff. If it's not fresh, they're not serving it. He's cutting fresh fish every day. I took my friend Christine there last weekend when she was in town, and she had the red snapper. Was some of the best she said she's ever had. So
good.
Thanks again, guys. Yeah. Thank you, Chef, for life. And thank you, Citrus Grill House, for your sponsorship. Today we're talking canes and coverage, baby. Our guest today is a local agent and a local Vero guy. He's with Tom Collins Insurance Agency. He grew up in Vero Beach. He's married to a beautiful wife of 10 years and has 3 beautiful daughters. He's been writing insurance for Vero Beach homeowners for 3 years. Let's introduce Frank Stawara.
Lori, thank you for having me on.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Really appreciate it. You had to read all those wonderful meals and
now
drinks
you're starving
right before dinner time. And I'm sure my wife's listening too. So I'm going to have to get her out there for a date this week. I'm sure that's coming if you are listening, babe.
Okay. That's okay. You can get her out there. They'll be happy. And tell them you were on the show.
Right.
Let me know.
Yeah.
Always phenomenal.
I'll hook you up.
Citrus is always phenomenal.
It is so good. It's a great spot to go. All right. Let's talk about it. Hurricane season is here. People are thinking about insurance. It's a big worry for a lot of people here in town, of course. Let's talk about what important coverage considerations that will maximize that insurance policy we all know we really should have.
Yeah, the first thing you want to look at is make sure your dwelling coverage is appropriate, that it's to replacement costs, that it's to the right value. Construction costs have gone up so much in the last few years. I mean, it's crazy how expensive construction is.
Yeah.
So make sure your dwelling value is correct.
Okay.
The next thing I would look at, I would look at your deductibles. You know, over the last few years, people have raised deductibles to try to save money.
Right.
That usually plays into the hands of the carrier. So take a look at your deductible. Take a look at if I have a claim, how much am I actually coming out of pocket?
Yeah.
And then, you know, living here in Florida, there's other important coverages, mold, ordinance or law for older homes. But really, I think the main coverage you want to look at is your dwelling, that it is insured to value 100%.
Okay.
And, you know, make sure your deductibles aren't too high if it's, you know, unless it's something that you're okay with from a risk perspective.
Right. Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of people, you know, that self-insure, right?
Sure.
They're going to do that, and that's fine. We understand that. Who determines my replacement value for my home or their home?
Yeah. So we as agents, I mean, we have a lot of knowledge with local contractors,
Okay.
builders. We kind of have a good pulse
Okay.
on what it costs to rebuild with a lot of these custom homes on the Barrier Island. And then we corroborate that with a replacement cost estimator,
Okay.
which is pretty accurate. So
Okay.
we take those two things. We take our knowledge, we take a replacement cost estimator, we blend those two.
Okay.
And then ultimately we want to align with the insured's needs
Yes.
and what they want to insure for.
Right.
We're going to recommend that you insure to value, maybe even a little bit more.
I know.
But at the end of the day, we also want to align with their needs.
I know. And I say that because I am quite certain I'm not aligned with replacement value on my home. And I sell real estate. So I know that you can go between $400 a square foot to $1,000 a square foot,
Sure.
depending on the quality and depending on what you want to rebuild your house to. I mean, my house was built in 1969. To rebuild to 1969, yeah, that's one cost. To rebuild my house to a house of today, but not the highest end house out there, is probably $500, $600 a square foot. I mean, do you know, like for island, do you have an average island barrier house, like replacement cost square footage?
Yeah, that's a great point. So you can look at market values. You can look at what your home was 20 years ago, but what is it going to cost today to build it? And so that's where you have to take a look at your dwelling value and make sure that that's correct.
Yeah.
$500, $600, $700, all the way up to $1,000 and more a square foot on the Barrier Island, and even, you know, some of these homes inland can get up there as well. Not that high, but super important.
It is. It is. And one thing that we can remember though too a little bit is it doesn't include your land value. So even though somebody's house might be $1.5 million where it sits on the Barrier Island, in Central Beach, your lot's worth $1 million, right?
Sure.
So you've got to say to yourself, okay, I've got a 2,500 square foot house. So I'm building a 2,500 square foot house. But even then, at $500 a square foot, it's still a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, but again, you do get to subtract the lot value, but it is not going to help you much.
There is some value there on the lot.
Oh, definitely. Of course there is. Of course. But again, you have to insure the dwelling, and the dwelling is what you got to repair and replace. So, okay.
Certainly.
We were talking earlier. What is the smartest thing homeowners can do today to make that claims process earlier? We've just had a storm. And now what's the first thing I'm going to do?
So I would say before the storm even comes, know your coverages, go over your policy, know the coverages you have. Like I was saying, know the deductibles, know what you're covered for, know the exclusions in the policy, go through it with your agent. Make sure that you're heading into this hurricane season, you have the coverage that you need. You don't want to find out after the storm.
Right.
Okay. So make sure that you do that. It's not a bad idea to create, we have hurricane plans. They tell you to get X amount of this and Y amount of that. Go through and do a home inventory and make sure you've got everything accounted for. Not a bad idea. Have your documents digitally filed away.
Okay, that was a good question. I know.
That your smartphone can become one of your most important tools during a claims process. But okay, let's say the storm has hit.
Yep.
First thing you want to do is call the carrier and go ahead and file the claim.
Mm-hmm.
Then if I'm your agent, contact me.
Yes.
And, the relationship is between the carrier and the client. but I'm here to facilitate. If the carrier isn't holding up their end of the bargain or not moving fast enough or not giving you the service that you feel like you should be getting, let me know, and I'll try to facilitate that process.
Yes.
You can also call me. I'm happy to come on the scene and take photos. But first things first is give your insurance carrier a call and file the claim. Yes.
Yeah, you need to do it. And you can do that over the phone.
You can, yes.
Okay, that's good, because we might not have power. You might not be able to do that, right?
That goes back to the cell phone.
That's right. I know. Keep it charged up for sure. So what is the biggest misconception homeowners in Florida have about their insurance coverage?
I would say the biggest misconception is that it covers flood.
Yeah.
And flood is a totally separate policy on its own.
Yep.
So, I can't tell you how many times homeowners, clients have said to me, my home's covered for flood, right? And no, it's not. It's a separate policy.
100% separate policy.
Yes.
You don't have flood if you don't have a flood policy, correct?
That's correct. Now, there's rare circumstances, there's exceptions where a home carrier will kind of add on flood on there, but most of the time they're separate policies.
Yeah.
And then it's like, what is flood? And flood is not, that water pipe that burst. It's, it's not that
in your
leak
house.
in the home. It's not wind driven rain that comes in through the window. Think about it as just there's definitions for it, but I think the best way for folks to conceptualize is think about it as coming from the ground, coming from below.
Right.
And, you think of storm surge, you think of a lot of rain in a short period of time.
Right.
That is
it's rising water coming up to your doorstep, right? That kind
coming
of thing?
up to the doorstep, creeping and getting in there.
Yes.
So really, that is the misconception, is that my homeowner's policy will cover me for a flood event when in fact it does not.
No, I know. I think the confusion is the policy that covers that broken pipe in your house that some people have had. And they're like, oh, well, that's in my homeowner's policy. Well, this is not flood. That's not flood that we have here in Florida. If you're in any River County, that's not it. That's not the one that's covered. You need that separate policy. Listen, we take a commercial break. We'll come back, so we've got a good 4 or 5 minutes to talk. We pay for this with commercials. We'll be right back with Frank Stawara from Tom Collins Insurance Agency in a couple minutes. See you in a minute.
Tired of pool chores draining your weekend? Deja Blue Pool Service provides the expert skimming and chemical balancing you need for a crystal clear paradise. For Vero's most reliable professional care, Google Deja Blue Pool Service. Keep it clean, keep it blue.
USA all day. Vero's 4th of July is going to be free, fun, and fire. The fun starts at Riverside Park at 6 with live music by Riptide, plus food trucks, pie eating, hot dog, and hula hoop contests. And enjoy a dazzling display of pyrotechnic pageantry with 4th of July fireworks at 9 o'clock. It's sponsored by the City of Vero Beach, Millennium Cremation Service, Formula One Window Tint of Vero Beach, Kiwi Car Wash, and Lori Davis of Dale Sorensen Real Estate. USA all day. July 4th, Riverside Park, Vero Beach.
At lunchtime, enjoy a southern home-cooked meal paired with the best sweet tea in town at Marsh Landing. You'll love our daily lunch specials like chicken and dumplings every Thursday, or one of our juicy half-pound burgers. Experience old Florida cuisine at Marsh Landing in Fellsmere.
Welcome to Riverside Theater's Comedy Zone, where the comedy is wild, untamed, and downright hilarious. Hit the zone this Friday and Saturday night at 6:30 and 8:30 for the Treasure Coast's best live stand-up comedy show, featuring nationally recognized comedians with cabaret-style seating and food and drink table service. Buy tickets at riversidetheater.com and get ready for a night of non-stop laughs.
Big news, Treasure Coast. Your favorite mortgage team just got even better. Introducing the same trusted faces you know and love, now with Union Home Mortgage.
Hi, this is Shannon Pohl.
Hi, this is Lucy Cranker. And these high-producing team members bring decades of experience, unwavering honesty, and hearts of gold to every home loan. And here's the best part. Same local processing, underwriting, and appraisers you rely on. Contact Union Home Mortgage.
Visit us online at shannoncpohl.com
and lucycranker.com.
I didn't know I could have so much fun on a hurricane show. But having Frank Stawara in the house, and I will say this as well, he helps me out. I call him up and I was like, hey, Frank, I got this house. Can you help me out? And he can give us like estimates, guesstimates on insurance and what this house might cost, because I have a listing. Now, what the seller's insurance policy has nothing to do with the new person's policy. It's going to be. And a lot of times now I'm finding the insurance company that had it before doesn't want the new guy. They just, it's happening everywhere. So Frank is a great guy. Love having him in the house. He's actually been helping Cindy, our Cindy, engineering Cindy. And is he a great guy? Has he been helping you out?
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man in town. So anyway, when I'm done, I'll give you his phone number and contact. All right. So Frank, what is your forecast for 2026 for hurricanes?
Okay, so I'm a bit of a hurricane nerd, and I am a self-proclaimed hurricane nerd and resident meteorologist at the agency. I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but it is what it is. And I tell you what, I drive my wife crazy sitting on the couch when these hurricanes start to approach land. I will sit there for hours glued, watching every update, refreshing every model. And my wife will walk out at 2 in the morning. Are you still? Yeah, I am.
It's my job, honey.
So,
what I do.
Yeah, right. So the forecast this year, I feel like it's the first year in a long time that we have a forecast below the average. I feel like every year they've hyped up the forecast. And a big reason for that, and I'm going to try to keep it really just layman terms here.
Sure.
Big reason for that is we have El Nino. And what El Nino is, so a lot of people have probably heard of El Nino and La Nina. For a lot of years, we've had La Nina, which basically that just increases the likelihood, makes the environment more favorable in the Atlantic for hurricane conditions. Right now, we have an El Nino, a super El Nino. It may be a record El Nino.
Yeah.
And what that's going to do is it's going to create, the main thing that it's going to do, it's going to create a lot of wind shear that's going to come from the Pacific all the way over to the Atlantic. And when hurricanes start to develop, that wind shear is what's going to tear those hurricanes apart. So, I mean, there's no guarantee.
Yeah.
But, I think that the forecast was 13 storms.
Named storms.
13 hurricanes and 14 is the average. So slightly below.
Okay.
So that El Nino just gives us a better shot at, having a more mild hurricane season.
Yeah. I agree. And, it's kind of funny. We all think about, hurricanes and we worry about them. What I don't like is when they start, how many weeks ahead of time.
Oh, no.
And we're, in Africa and they're getting everybody whipped up in a lather. And I'm like, that now, I know you're not watching from that point.
Oh, I am.
What's your favorite spaghetti model? Whose model do you like the best?
That's
just between us. I have my favorite.
I do too.
I've gone back and forth between the Euro and the GFS. I feel like the Euro over the years has been more consistent. It's been more predictable.
That's mine.
It's been more accurate.
Is that,
But
Tom Terry.
But the GFS, we're getting really nerdy now, but the GFS
that's okay.
is starting to make a push.
Yeah.
And the GFS has been pretty good the last couple years. They have these AI models that are coming out that look promising too. I'm sure they'll take over eventually. But
I'm sure they will. Frank, I wanted to not lose my time to be able to give everybody the contact information for you. Frank Stawara at Tom Collins Insurance Agency, 772-538-8921, correct?
That is correct.
F.Stawara, Stawara, at TomCollinsInsurance.com. Frank, thank you so much for being with us today. We love a good hurricane nerd. We're so glad to have you here.
Thank you for having me on, Lori. I want to say hi to Sadie. I told her I would say hi to her, my 9-year-old daughter.
Shout out to anybody you want. You got dogs, daughters, I don't care. Let's go.
Sadie Mae, I hope you're behaving at home. That's all I got to say.
There you go. And next time, Cindy, we're going to have one of those things like Johnny Carson used to have where they put on the head for the guy who does the predictions. That's going to be Frank. That's going to be you, buddy. We're going to do it. Thank you so much. You guys be safe out there. We're talking hurricanes, but if you do the right thing, make a plan, check with your insurance agent. If you need a good insurance agent, call Tom Collins Agency and ask for Frank Stawara. You guys be safe out there. We'll see you here next week. Have a great day.